Welcome to Seavine, We the People. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Most of us, if we've been on social media, have gone through untold amounts of situations where there are fact checkers around everywhere, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or whichever. And these are the individuals that are out there to tell us whether or not what we're reading and etc. is true or not. There have been multiple situations that a lot of people don't necessarily agree with them, but you don't have a voice. There's really no way you can go against it without a great deal of difficulty and heartache and trouble in order to do so. Well, of course, Seavine has also had their share of dealing with fact checkers and so on. And I know that word in and of itself may possibly cause some problems with me doing this YouTube video. But if YouTube would hold on and just let me speak a minute, you're going to find out that maybe this is to everyone's benefit. Seavine received an email from an agency, or I should say a service as they called it, called NewsGuard. And I am going to go over everything about what it is that they ask us, but the bottom line is NewsGuard is going to be rating Seavine. They're going to be going through an entire process of scrutiny. Then I'm talking about the Seavine website, c-vine.com website, which is basically where everything comes out of. And then we share to various different social medias, etc. So we report the news. Now, keep in mind, Seavine is not actually a news agency. It's not a business at all. All it is kind of a grassroots project that, even though I'm the founder, it's a whole lot of people. It's we the people coming together, joining together as a group to be able to look at the news, working together and fact checking it and comparing notes. And we also have various different social media groups. One of the biggest ones is on Facebook, which is a group page, Seavine News Network, where right now there's over 31,000 on there that they discuss the news, they debate it, they argue it, always with respect. And then we put out our findings. So what we put out on the website is a collaboration of we the people, because none of us are getting paid. We're all volunteers, myself included. Any monies that are donated to the actual website for the actual membership of the website, even if you choose not to pay a monthly amount, you still have full access to the website. Nothing is held back from anybody. It is in full view. And it's the same thing with the other social media. The only reason we request is some donations on the actual website is to cover our website overhead. And it's a huge website. Whole lot of people donate their time. There isn't any way in God's little green acres we could afford that website if it weren't for all the wonderful, incredible people that have been donating their time and their areas of expertise every single day to work together to try our very, very darndest to bring you news that is accurate. We do not benefit in any way, shape, or form except to bring the truth. That's the only reason we're here. And that's why we're fighting so hard. Many of us probably would have more fun things to do, but we realize the incredible seriousness of the way our nation's in, quite frankly, the world and what it's in. So this is why we're all here together to be able to do this. Well, NewsGuard sent the email and basically told us that they were going to rate us. They're going to rate our website. And with a cursory review, it was a very quick review, we found that NewsGuard is the one that rates Epoch Times, and they also rate CNN and a number of other very well-known websites. There wasn't very many little people in there. And I am going to let you know what our findings were. But we have made a decision, CVine has made a decision, because these types of fact-checking / rating services can destroy a business. We aren't funded except for minor donations. I mean, it's not enough to sneeze at. But there are those who are out there that are funded, and it doesn't take much to absolutely destroy it, not to mention working together in tandem with social media and taking down large platforms that people have that just disappear. And overwhelmingly, the ones that seem to disappear are conservative. It's just we came up with a percentage, and we're doing 92%. 92% of the various so far as of today are conservative. And what do we mean by conservative? Our definition, CVine's definition of a conservative, is a patriot who loves America, who believes in following the rule of law, who honors those that were before us, that fought in the wars to keep our country free. Patriots and/or conservative are those that remember the fallen and honor them. And we understand, realize, and see through the understanding of history in books from many, how many couple hundred years ago, of what happened and how our country came into being and why. To protect us from tyranny, to protect us from being taken over, to protect us, to protect our freedoms. And in fact, our forefathers felt it was so important when they came over here to America. Many of them were just farmers, out there, not rich people, that they were willing to put their farm work aside and go to war in order to protect, because they saw that our freedoms were being taken away. And so they fought and died. And so I'm not going to go over history. That's not why I'm here. Why I am here is to open things up to complete, total, absolute, utter transparency in where it comes to what CVine is, what they've done, how they've done it, things that they may have made mistakes on, because we've made them, how we try to correct them. And we are doing this because there has been a laundry list of questions asked to us by this rating agency. But since CVine does their own types of fact checking, we also need to know that the fact checker is worthy of fact checking us. Do they have the integrity? Do they have the lack of bias? Are they truly honest in their endeavors? Do they stand to benefit in one way or another? Is there an agenda? We need to know about this background, and we are going to be checking into that background. And since we are blessed with so many licensed investigators, licensed private investigators, retired police officers, individuals with very long histories of research in various different areas, there's going to be some really serious scrutiny from our end to them. But we are going to show every step of the way. If we are shown to be something that is not worthy of your attention, then so be it. We shouldn't be here. The reason we are here is so you can trust what we have to say. But if there are fact checkers out there, and there are people who rate websites that really have no business and/or have an agenda elsewhere, then that also needs to be revealed, because after all, as I was told in this email I'm about to read to you, they are providing a service. Really? A service to who? To you. To you, the listener, to you, the reader. So if this service is worthy of protecting you against all that fake stuff, then I think it's important that you know that the person or individual or service or business or entity that does these things is truly acting in your best interest. And so that's what we're going to do. The fact checker is going to check the fact checker and back again. And we are going to show you every step of the way. Every step of the way. I request, because we, the people, are actually CVine. You're the volunteers helping, whether it's to help distribute or share the news or help us in areas of fact checking, if it's to help bring us the news, to help donate your time in so many different areas, helping to fund us to be able to go to the military tribunals, which, by the way, sorry, sidestep here. Guantanamo Bay hasn't been shut down, but it has been just staying open just enough for essential workers. Was shut down, actually, the last pre-trial was in January. So everything else that was scheduled from them all the way to the end of this year, everything's been canceled. And because of COVID. Well, that's another whole video in and of itself, but that's just a little side note. Okay, going back again. With everything that's being reported, the ways that you've helped to fund us to be able to go to these tribunals, because we're not getting a salary, so if we go, it has to come out of our pocket or through donations. And you guys have been incredible with that. So we're going to depend on you to pay attention to anything and everything that is happening, because if we're taken down unfairly, I want every witness to every single step of the way, because I will be taking this to court, and I will be doing it very publicly. So this is going to be fair. It's going to be. And you guys are going to help to make certain of it, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. Okay, fair enough? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, this is the c-mind.com website popping up here any moment. That's c-mind.com website. You can see that we have all different types of things that we're doing, plus we're setting up an entire education forum. We have a regular discussion forum. Plus we have our little store. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it's something. It's what we've got. And then you can be a member. Even if you're not a member, you can still see it. But if you would like to help support us with a small monthly, $5 a month, $10 a month, more if you can, that's great. There's even one-time abilities to donate, or just donate your time. That's just great. Okay, and then of course we have the section with the military tribunals. We report the news every day. We share it on all different types of social media. And so this is how we get it out there. Okay, it's through this website, and it's the website that they are scrutinizing. All right, so going from there, I went ahead and took the initial email that was sent to me, and I went ahead and I did a report on it. Fact-checking and news rating service to judge CVine News credibility. And this was put out September 11th, just a couple days ago. But CVine will in turn research the history, achievement, and credentials of the fact checker. This is all about transparency and truth in the news. We, the people, are hungry for honest reporting. Many are curious about the fact checkers in social media because they appear to be anonymous or hidden from view. These are the people who judge, accuse, and censor the news. They have the power of life or death, thrive or starve, when it has to do with individuals that report the news. And it's time to open the doors to what it's about. CBINE received the following email from a company called NewsGuard. Initial investigations, as I mentioned, I won't repeat that over again, as I checked out CNN, Epoch Times, and we responded below the screenshot. Okay, so this is the little note that was put out there, and it says, it's from Annika Schlachte. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Subject, reaching out from NewsGuard sender's email. Message, hi there, my name is Annika Schlachte, and I'm a reporter for NewsGuard, a service that rates the credibility and transparency of online news sites. We are currently in the process of reviewing cbine.com, and I'm hoping to speak with someone for the site's leadership about some questions we have regarding some content on the website. Please let me know if there's a better way to get in touch. Thanks and best, Annika. This email was sent from the contact page on this website. Okay, well, that sounds benign. That's great, no problem. Until I found out that individuals that didn't make the cut on NewsGuard's perusal, should I say, many of them will have, whenever you go to a website, a pop-up that says something on the order of danger, don't go any further, could be malicious virus, or content is not safe, or something to this effect. So in other words, scaring the crap out of anyone. We're moving forward past that sign. Okay, that appears to be what is happening quite a bit. And not to mention the reports going to social media. So even though my first instinct was, yeah, I have no problem with answering things, my next instinct was, why do I even give this any oxygen? We know what we do. And our readers, our listeners are the ones that tell us that if they don't like something, and we pay attention because we're here for them. But then again, I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and open this up to the public, court of public opinion. So this is my answer. Dear Annika, we will be happy to answer your questions about some of CBINE's articles, as we gladly do with anyone who asks. Please feel free to list your questions in the response email. It is important that you are specific about the article title and date. I will respond in writing for documentation purposes and a paper trail. As for your introduction about who you are and who you work for, please clarify the following from your note. Number 1, she stated, I'm a reporter for NewsGuard. My question to her, are you paid in some manner by NewsGuard or a volunteer? Freelance? Next one, she stated, NewsGuard is a service that rates the credibility and transparency of online news sites. My question, a service? A service is a business who is generally paid. Who hired and who paid NewsGuard for this service specifically? We will require an identity that can be fact-checked. Number 3, her email stated, rates the credibility and transparency of online news sites. Question for me, in order to rate anybody's credibility, they better have proven credibility of their own. I will need to know much more about your credentials and that of NewsGuard. Please send those over at your earliest convenience. Be aware that our CBINE team has determined your answers are important for public awareness. They will need to see how your process works. Social media platform members have been concerned about fact checker lack of credibility. Hopefully that isn't the case with NewsGuard. In fact, and in all fairness, you should be aware of who you are talking to. CBINE was created specifically because of rampant fake news. It was designed in such a way that information from any source is always vetted and researched before release. No one is paid. No one. Everyone is a volunteer. All funds donated are to cover operating expenses or defray travel expenses if expenses if enough is available. Many volunteers pay their own way. Volunteers are highly skilled and trained with years of experience in their area of expertise. We are the workers who keep America running. Retired police officers with investigations background, active duty officers, and licensed private investigators, licensed investigative journalists, attorneys from various fields, CPAs, bookkeepers, physicians of all types, college professors, IT, webmasters, graphic designers, retired managers of all types. Also included are 31,000 volunteers from our research and study group on Facebook, where we work together to discuss and debate the news with proven sources always provided for others to fact check. We have a strict list of rules and are enforced to keep conversation cordial and honest. We encourage diverse opinions and debate as long as it's respectful. CVine is not a business. It is a charitable trust. There are no advertisements. We are not monetized in a significant way. CVine was designed so no one can ever own, take over, or buy it out. No one will ever become rich as part of it. No one will ever hijack information to be used for propaganda purposes again. There are checks and balances in place to keep it this way. There are an additional 24,000 plus members on YouTube who came originally to hear CVine report on the mainstream media et al., or KSM et al. Pre-trials they witnessed live via CCTV from Fort Meade. A high security clearance officer from the DoD in charge of media at Gitmo works closely with us to make sure our reporting is accurate. Transcripts from the proceedings are also provided to the readers to fact check. All our Gitmo reporters had to go through a DoD clearance, but the pandemic canceled all proceedings at Gitmo since February, and it remains that way at present. CVine is an acronym that stands for Community Voices, Investigations, News, Education, and is run by we the people. We also believe in absolute transparency, and since we the people are who form CVine and are the leadership, your email and this response is available for their scrutiny and on our news site for public education purposes. We will await your response and discuss accordingly. If you like, we can interview each other on Zoom Live for additional transparency. Respectfully, Linda Forsyth. Okay, so that's the gist of it. I'm going to make this video short and probably wind up getting rid of some of the beginning because of my babbling. But the whole point is we're doing a series here, and they have since responded, and it's quite a long laundry list and interesting things that they had to say. It was already posted on our group page. We have already done an article on it that is on c-vine.com. But tomorrow I'm going to do a YouTube video, and I will be attaching it to that report. So again, if you want to know anything about the report or what's going on the website, go to c-vine.com. You will find the various different articles. This is part 2 that I haven't done yet. Down farther is part 1. You can read it, plus many, many other things that are on there. Okay, everybody, please let me know what you think. Talk to me. Let me know what you want done differently. And maybe even some suggestions on what we should do and how we should handle this. All right. Have a good day, everybody.